Hi everybody, it's FIBO Group and you are watching to the Market Watch review. In the Asian session, most bourses were lower than South Korea and China. Stoxx 600 edged higher this week to reduce its loss of 1%. Futures in the US are 0.5% to 0.7% better. Although the yen and Swiss franc are lower, most major foreign currencies are increasing against the dollar, with the exception of the dollar-bloc and the Swedish krona leading the charge. Another week of good news for emerging market currencies. The gold price is softening as it stands at $1,900, but it is expected to make its third weekly gain. Crude oil prices are more expensive. After dropping almost 2% yesterday, April WTI is down 4%. It will lose its first weekly earnings of the year unless it experiences a dramatic recovery as last week. Asian Pacific market. Japan's January CPI reading was lower than expected. The BOJ would be justified by the news, which would appear to support its reluctance of changing course. Japan has not been able to infuse its economy despite having large debts, deficits, and a balance sheet from the central bank. Initial drop in the dollar to JPY 114.80 was a two-week low. Then it rebounded above JPY 115.00. The market will likely not take the greenback against the Japanese yen much higher due to Monday's U.S. holiday. Next week's data highlights include the flash PMI for Australia and Japan. Remember that both the composite readings were below the 50 boom-bust level of January. For the week, the Australian dollar has reached new heights of $0.7230. In less than a month, it has not closed above $0.7200. Market of Europe. After December's Omicron shopping slump, UK retail sales rebounded in January. Retail sales increased 19%, which is about half as much as was expected. The UK reported this week an increase in average earnings and another rise in inflation. Today's retail sales are stronger than expected. Yesterday, sterling closed above $1.36 for the first month in a row. Today, it has not traded below that level. There is, however, no upside momentum. Today, the euro is trading in a range of less than 1/4 cents. Market of America. Bullard, who is the Fed's leading hawk, has been attracting much attention because the U.S. inflation is running higher than expected. It is now a question of whether he has won over his colleagues. The recent comments and FOMC minutes indicate that Fed officials are willing to speed up tightening. However, they don't seem ready to follow his call for 100 BP at the next 3 meetings, as well as an aggressive unwinding of the balance sheet. Today, the U.S. reports that there are still home sales. It is possible to expect a slight decline. Canada announces December retail sales. Expect a poor result. The Canadian government is intensifying its efforts to quell the protests in Ottawa. It does not look like the confrontation is over. The Canadian dollar is squeezing. It is still within Wednesday's range. That's all for me. Closely monitor the news background and be prepared for all the surprises of the market.